Lottie.
And I'm Mark.
And this is
Showtime Shenanigans.
Hello, everybody.
How are you
How are
doing?
you doing? Oh!
I forgot about Karen not doing the dance anymore because we've now got an actual little.
We have an intro, guys. There's new things happening in season 2 of this podcast. One, we've got microphones. I just hit it, so I'm sorry. So we're really high tech in the podcast situation now. I feel like I'm having an interview because it's like a little mic there.
Yeah.
Feels a bit weird. And the second thing is we have an intro music thing now, but made by, just get my notes, by Ben Coates. I've linked his account down below so you can go check him out,
Thank you very much, Ben.
But yes, thank you, Ben, for making us some intro music. He just messaged me on Facebook and was like, hey, I make music. Do you want a little intro thing? And I was like, sure.
Please.
Okay. Oh, sorry. My notes just are all falling all over the place.
Oh, I can't wait for today's episode. So, as you can probably have a title of the podcast, we're doing a little Q&A because we've been asking people to send us questions for forever on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, it is
forever.
Not forever, but for a long time we've been asking people to we've been doing question boxes every couple of months, being ask us questions. So we finally got them all together. If you don't have us follow us on Instagram, the Instagram link is down below.
It is.
Or search Showtime Shenanigans or Shenanigans Pod on Instagram.
No, that's Twitter. I think it's Showtime. Showtime_shenanigans on Instagram.
That's the one.
And then on Twitter it's shenanigan_pod, maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that. You'll find us anyway. You'll
Google
find
us.
it. If you type in Showtime Shenanigans, be fine.
We'll hopefully pop up.
I'm really cold.
And it's really cold.
I'm a little bit chilly.
But Lottie's also got a fancy new background. Look at her go.
Look at me. I'm in a different room.
She's also started a new channel, so if you want to watch that, you should definitely do that.
Yeah. I started a booktube channel.
So definitely check her out.
Oh, I have to link it below now, God's sake. I have to remember to add all these things in.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, we're doing a Q&A. So should we crack into it?
Wait.
Or
there's a third new thing.
What's the third?
Right.
Oh my god, yes.
The best bit. So we're saying goodbye to Stress in the Dress for now. For now. Because nothing is happening. So there aren't any stresses in dresses. So we've come up with a new segment.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
What is it? Tell us.
Called Actor of the Hour.
Bum, bum, bum.
Basically, what we're doing is we are going to give you a quick-ish
rundown
of a performer's history in, show business, because
it's not very quick. It's quite long.
There. It's quite long. I'll try and be quick. There are some icons out there that we don't know much about, or you might not know much about, or we don't know much about. So I thought, let's enlighten everyone. Should we do that first, and then just do all the questions?
Let's do that.
Okay, in my sexy Show Must Go On notebook, here we go. Basically, I have.
Look at us being the stagey people that can stage.
Oh, I wondered what your jumper was. I thought it was your waitress one.
That's grey.
Yeah, but on camera you can't. I can't. It's
this
quite
is
a dark.
Very, very black.
Yeah, but it's quite a dark grey, the waitress one. But anyway, so basically I have all the notes, so I'm just going to go through it. When we're together again, Mark can do Sam.
Or just send me a photo next time and I can put it in.
Oh, girl. Okay.
We'll try it out. It'll be fine.
The first person we are researching today is Ruthie Henshaw. Woo! So let's begin at the beginning. So she did her professional training at Lane Theatre Arts, which is in London. Her first professional job was on the UK tour of A Chorus Line, playing the character of Maggie. And then her West End debut was in Cats, and she played a variety of roles, including, there's quite a few, including Jemima, Demeter, I can never say that one. Jelly Lorum, yeah, Griddleburn.
Do you mean Jelorum? Like Jelorum?
Yeah, but it's like Jelly Lorum. Griddleburn, and the leading role, of course, Grisabella.
We should definitely watch Cats.
Say that one. We should probably watch Cats so that we know what everyone's called.
It's on Now TV, so you can watch the new one. The new one's on Now TV.
Sorry. You what? You sounded like a... You sounded like a literal robot. What the hell?
The new one is on Now TV.
Oh, right. That's what you
said. So if you don't want to spend money on the DVD, watch it there for free.
Absolutely not. So, anyway. So we're just recovering. I don't know if it's...
No, it's all fine down this end.
On the recording, but
it won't. Because
okay, that's fine.
Because this is fine and yours is fine, so we're fine.
Oh, because we're recording it separately, so it doesn't matter. Oh, that was so funny. Anyway, right. So some roles that she's played include, this obviously is not everything she's done. Ellen in Miss Saigon in the UK and on Broadway. Wow. And she was also on the original Broadway cast recording.
Just on the normal cast recording.
What?
It's just on the general cast recording. It's not an official cast.
I still don't understand what you mean by this. What do you mean the normal cast?
I think it's the London cast, but it's not like said definitively. It's not like it's the Broadway cast. It's the West End cast.
The original cast.
The original cast recording of.
Well, surely that would be wherever it opened.
Which is London.
Oh. Well, she is English, so that would make sense.
Yes.
That she did that and then went over to Broadway and did it. Anyway, okay, original cast recording, whatevs. She's also been... Well, we try and do facts here, but also we move on. So she also played Afra in The Child of Eden, Fontaine in Les Mis, Nancy in Oliver, and Roxy in Chicago. I can't talk today, I'm so cold. I've lost the plot a little bit.
Should get a space heater for that little cupboard of yours.
I could, but there's a lot of stuff in here and I wouldn't trust the heater. It's just like general storage as well as my own storage. There's a lot of stuff. So I can't be blamed for why it's messy. I try and keep it as tidy as I can. Anyway, right, so she's been obviously to New York, done lots of things over there. Her appearances in New York include Ziegfeld. Okay, right. See, it says Ziegfeld Follies of 1936. I think that's like a whole thing, not Follies, like the other thing.
No, I think she's played Ziegfeld, whatever the name is, in Follies. That would make sense. I don't
know. I'm going off what you sent me, so I don't know. Anyway, and the iconic plays, here we go. The Vagina Monologues and The Other Woman. So,
that.
There you go. She was invited to recreate Fontaine for the 10th anniversary concert of Les Mis at the Royal Albert Hall. Absolute icon. Of course, she was invited to do that. Why not? She's also performed at the Chichester Festival in Valentine's Day, Divorce Me Darling, and Sisterhood. There is a bit of a running theme going on there, I feel.
Definitely.
Yes. She has also played Polly Baker in Crazy for You at the Prince Edward. Woohoo! Which was basically that role established her as one of the most popular stars in the West End.
Ooh la la.
Ooh. She's also been nominated for the Olivier Award, Best Actress in a Musical, 5 times, and has won it once for her role in Crazy for You. So that's probably why it established her as,
Yeah, she won an award for it, so we know who she is now.
So this one's quite a fun one. So this is about Chicago. So she played both Roxy and Velma in Chicago on Broadway, and then in 2018 she played Mama Morton in the West End, becoming the only British actress to play all 3 female leads.
Love that.
Mental, mate.
Iconic.
She was voted most popular musical theatre actress, of the past 25 years by theatregoers. After 3 years in New York, she came back from the UK and did like loads of stuff. She starred in Peggy Sue Got Married, toured as the leading lady in Fosse, and starred in The Woman in White. She also created the title role in, oh god, I can't say that, Marguerite? Maybe?
Who even knows?
I don't know. And played Elvira in Blithe Spirit. And television performances, here we go. Television includes Valerie in The Case, Curb Your Enthusiasm. No. Curb Your Enthusiasm, Law and Order, iconic. The Mysteries of 71st Street, The Sound of Musicals, I'm a Celeb 2020. Woo!
Right.
And she's also been a judge on Dancing on Ice. So
Love that.
there we go.
Icon.
That is Actor of the Hour. I also just realised we have 2 other segments that we just kind of did in the wrong order. So it might be time for Key Change of the Week.
I'll do mine, shall I, first?
Your fact, yeah, sure, go for it.
Rather than just talking for the whole podcast. That's all you
that's
ever seem to do is just talk and talk and talk.
Well, that's what a podcast is, darling.
I know, I'm joking.
Just emotion, get on with your fact. It's boring anyway.
Okay. It's not boring. How dare it? It's a great fact.
I actually...
Some would say it's a fun fact.
Anyway,
so my fact of this week is Wicked, the musical.
Good
It's
start.
about Wicked. Here we are. Let's go from there. So it's about Wicked. The show takes the electricity that could power 12 homes to do one show.
That's pretty mental.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
craziness.
lot of electricity.
That is a lot. Like, could you imagine? Like, just think about like 12 homes electricity just in one show. That's bonkers.
Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
The production also requires about £250 of dry ice to create all the dramatic fog.
Dramatic fog. I was trying to style out the yawn by like whispering dramatic fog like you did, but it came anyway. So that's really good. So the key change of the week.
Oh, why are you now Australian?
Because why not? The key change of the week is I Dreamed a Dream from Les Mis. Basically, okay. I normally remind myself before the episode starts where it is, but my mind's gone blank. Oh, it's when she runs forward on the stage and it goes, and then she goes, and still I dream he'll come to me. That bit, that's where the key change is. It's epic. Les Mis is full of the key changes. It's just so good.
I love it. I miss her.
I miss her too. So that is they are the segments.
Lovely.
So
well, should we
go for it?
Yes.
Okay. Should I go first, or do you want to go first?
How many questions do you have? Because I have 4, and I think you have 5.
I have 4, and then a last one that's not really a question. So we both have the same.
You go first then.
That makes sense. Right. First question is from your lovely mother. And she said, are there any musical theatre stars you think would also do well on The Voice?
This is in light of.
Yeah, there are 2 that are currently on The Voice.
And there are many that have also been on The Voice in previous years, like Kerry Ellis, Nicole.
Nicole Raquel and Dennis.
Then you've got, obviously this year, we've got Lauren Drew and we've got Matt Croak.
Yes.
And they're both great.
I mean, why not? Why not go for it?
I mean, I feel like it's one of the things they always say, like when anyone from the musical theatre industry like auditions, they're like, oh yeah, like there's not much we can do to help you because their voices are just so great already.
Yeah.
But like, I think what people want when they audition for the voice of the actor is to just have like their own sort of like album, really. And it's just a great way of it's a great way of getting like recognition, so they can like make their own music and do their own thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's slightly unfair in a way if someone's been going for quite a long time to then go on The Voice. I think people need to do it like earlier on in their career.
Well, you say that, but like, so it's really weird looking back at it now because like Kerry Ellis auditioned for The Voice the first year The Voice happened, I think, and no one turned for her. Savage. But this was just after she finished in Wicked.
Yeah,
so she's kind of at like the peak of her career, I guess. I mean, she had still a great career after Wicked, but like Wicked was like kind of her like turning point, I guess. I don't really know. But she auditioned for The Voice, and then no one turned, and they were like, "Your voice is just so good. There's nothing we can work with it. There's nothing we can do to work with it." So like, it's just like, but she's like, they're like, "Why did you want to audition for The Voice?" And she's like, "Because I want to have my own albums." I'm like, "You've made like 5 albums now yourself. You don't. You didn't need The Voice."
She's done it now.
But like,
she hasn't got 5 albums, surely.
She has quite a few, I think.
She's got, but a lot of them aren't like her own songs, are they?
No, which I guess is what she wanted to do with.
Yeah, she wanted like she probably wanted to learn how to write songs as well, like because you get that kind of experience.
But like,
with different people and stuff. Yes.
Who knows?
Okay.
Anyway,
I don't know.
I think so many actors would be great for The Voice, but I'd hate to see them not get turned because I think that would make people be like, oh, they're not very good, or like it would give them the wrong impression of an actor if they didn't get a turn.
Luckily, Lauren and Matt both got people turned for them. So
I mean, who wouldn't turn for Lauren Drew? Because that song that she played,
that audition was literally insane. I like from the first note, I was like, what? And she chose Anne Marie, who's my favourite like judge. So sorry, not to spill the tea, but she's my favourite judge. No, I like them all.
Watch The Voice. Shut up.
I know who the judges are. Leave me alone.
Because you watched the clip and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, but I've seen bits of The Voice. It's just not like I was an X Factor hoe.
I mean, okay.
And then it's
the X Factor's been like cancelled, so like it's chill now.
Yeah, but I think The Voice is better.
Definitely, because they judge you off The Voice rather than like what you look like.
Yeah, that's the whole point of turning.
But yeah.
So I think The Voice is better, but I don't know. I don't really watch much TV, like real TV.
No.
So.
Anyway, moving swiftly on.
I don't know if I have anyone that I think would do well per se. It's a bit of a weird one.
So my question I have for you. Well, not for you. Actually, it is for you. Lol. Anyway, so Lottie, hello, Dolores.
That's me.
What precisely is it you love about Waitress so much?
I mean, where do I begin? No, okay. I'm going to do a quick backstory.
Oh, here we go again.
Look, Mark and I already recorded this podcast, and then there was a bit of an audio issue, so we've had to re-record. So I'm going to cut it down.
Thank God.
More than last time. So basically, right, okay, situation is this. A few weeks before West End Live 2019, Mark was like, oh, there's someone coming into Waitress, a new person, and I've seen her, and she's in other things, and she's really good. And I was like, great. So when we go to West End Live, obviously we're going to go and see a show on the Saturday evening because we're already in London. So like, why not? So why don't we go see Waitress? And he was like, yeah, let's do that. We can see the new person. And I was like, okay. So then obviously we were at West End Live. We went to the back of the whole of Trafalgar Square.
Good luck.
Where there was a TKTS tent. And we
they weren't safe. What a mess.
And Les Mis were on stage, and it was a disaster because we were queuing for so long.
But do you remember we brought the tickets, and then because they couldn't like print out the tickets there, so we had to we had to go up to.
Oh, disaster! Yeah, they were like
disaster.
Disaster, darling. but yeah, so we bought tickets to Waitress that evening, and it was grand. And I was like, got this. So there we were watching Waitress, and I'd never seen it. Mark had seen it 3 times before. I'd like listened to the cast recording like the year before, but it was like, yeah, it's great, but I hadn't fully sunk in.
You hadn't invested yourself into it yet.
I hadn't invested. I was like, oh, this is good. Like, some of the songs are great. And then I saw it, and I was like, oh,
this is no, great.
This is going to ruin my life. And I don't know. It was like, it ended up being like an escape, because I hated my job. And, you know, I was like getting closer with Mark, like we were hanging out a lot more, and we were like, yes, let's go see all the shows. And, you know, it was summer, the weather was great. There were others. We didn't just see Waitress, but for a long time we.
No, I just said we're lovers.
We are lovers. Yes. In case anyone.
In case anyone has any confusion, long time lovers.
We can't even pretend that we're lovers.
No.
So yeah, we just ended up going to see it a lot, and I just fell in love with it. And yeah, it was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I like hated my job, so it was like an escapism, and it just so happened that was the show that I was like, I'd fallen in love with at the time. Oh Jesus, like it could have been anything, but because I'd just seen that at West End Live, I was like, oh my god. And then like on the train home, and then like at home, after West End Live, the Saturday, I remember going on YouTube and just like looking up, because it was Lucy Jones, if anyone didn't know. It was Lucy Jones who was coming into Waitress that week, or had come into Waitress. So I remember going on YouTube and just like finding every video of her singing that I could, to be like, right, I need to know her history, like let's find out. And then I was just like, oh no. Like, but I'm not complaining that is one of the people that I fully invest my time into supporting, because have you heard her? You know, it's like she's worth investing time into, because she's so good. You know, it's not like someone, like, no one can deny that she has talent. You know, you get me. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what I love about it so much. I think it was more the escapism.
I think it was just like the time and the place. It just happened so like great. It was just such a good thing to happen. You were like, I'm just in love.
Yeah, it was just there when I needed it to be. And then obviously I love the show and the music. Like, I'm not just being like, it was just the show I chose to go to.
No, I know, but like when you find something at the right time, it means so much more than it was.
Slotted into place, and it was great.
Like, had you seen Waitress like this year? Not this year, but you know what I mean. Like,
don't.
If you had seen Waitress in a different part of your life, you probably would have a different like connection with it.
Yeah.
Rather than when you met Waitress, you were like.
Yeah. And it could have been anything. Like, there were so many shows at West End Live and so many shows in London at the time that we could have gone and seen.
I really wanted to see it anyway, because I saw a cat in it I saw the cat 3 times when it first opened.
Yeah, and then you were like, "There's this new person coming in. I want to see it with her." Because you'd seen her in other stuff.
No, I said I want to see Lucy Jones because I've seen her in things and I love her voice. I need to go see her.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I haven't seen Waitress, and I wanted to go see it at some point. So yeah, let's do it.
I know, but I remember after West End Live, we sat in St James's Park.
Oh, on a Sunday we sat, in the park.
They just performed again. We just sat there and you listened to just Lucy Jones out in the open in a field, and I was like, brilliant.
I think, they performed Waitress again on the Sunday, and we kind of had seen what we wanted to see at that point, and we were like, it's been a long weekend. I think we're just gonna go home. And then obviously later on, we remembered like she did like her own set of like 3 songs as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were just like listening to whatever was going on, because there were like a lot of.
You're having like boyfriend issues as well, so we need to get home.
Having boyfriend issues. Okay, well, I kind of was, but like it's fine. But like there were basically like all the shows that we wanted to see had like been done, and there were some things like later in the afternoon that we wanted to see, but there were like a load of school kind of groups or whatever, and we were like, is it worth sitting through that? Not saying they're not good, but like we're really tired from the day before as well, like because we live quite far away as well. We were like up at 6 a.m. you know, so it was like, we're just gonna have a chill afternoon, and we can watch the bits that we want to see on YouTube because they always upload everything. But yeah, I don't know why I like Waitress so much. Is the answer to that question? I just
Lovely,
do.
brilliant. I'm glad we answered that question.
Right place, right time, I think, is the moral of that story.
Anyway, next question.
Okay, it did get us to Broadway though. Not complaining there. So, oh goodness. Oh, I just read the question. So, as you may know, Mark and I are front of house at Les Mis and also the comeback at Christmas. Question is, what was your most demanding client at the theatre?
Oh.
Demanding. Now, I don't know.
See, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to like get shot by anyone. I mean, the most demanding. I think one of the most demanding things I ever had was this really lovely. It wasn't lovely. He was a total. But he was really drunk, and he was really drunk. So you don't want to go back and see the rest of the show because like he hated it so much that he couldn't like leave about his wife and his friends.
Amazing.
Because that's just life. So I because I was on front doors, I kind of got left with him because the bar people were like helping out to begin with, but they left me, and I was like,
yeah.
And I was very tempted to like kind of call the manager, just be like, "Can you help me? Because I don't know what to do." He's like very drunk, and he's meant to be watching the show, but like
you should have to be fair, because if he's drunk, they can.
Well, I did eventually because what he did.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay.
Because he started like being like really like horrible to one of our bar members. He's uber gay.
Like very obviously.
Uber gay.
Yeah.
There's me and then there's him. Yeah.
I thought you were uber gay, and then
yeah. But he was like, and then he started saying stuff like, "Oh, are you and your dad like good? Like, are you and your dad close?" And I was like, "Okay." So Laura came down, and I was like,
"Laura, help!"
She came over. She said, "Everything all right?" I said, "Yeah, it's just a little bit."
A little bit.
But I was like, "Yeah." And he went outside, so I ran like down to the end. I was like, "Can someone stand with me? Because I can't do this by myself."
It's just a bit awkward, isn't it?
So I think that's not demanding, but it's the most like. Oh my God,
I do actually. I have one like that was actually a demand that actually works for this question, so I'm going to say it now.
Yeah, go for it.
Rather than at another point, if you get what I mean. So basically, I used to do most of the time. I was on Access at the Sondheim, so I helped anyone with any disability. Thank you. I helped anyone with like disabilities or just anything, any access
a little bit extra help.
You know, if they've broken their arm and they just need a bit more help getting into the building or whatever. You know, they've got crutches and it's not a permanent thing, but they just need a different kind of seat, so they haven't got like 100
just need help getting up the stairs.
Yeah, you need to like stop the crowd so that they get a bit more time to go up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was my main role that I did a lot of the time. There was like 4 of us in total that did it.
Yeah.
And there was this one night, there was a lady in the dress circle, and she had a carer with her who was like Spanish.
Was it a night or was it a matinee? Because I remember I think it was a matinee.
It was probably a matinee.
I think it was a matinee because I remember you telling Jenny.
I told Jenny, the manager.
One of our many.
Yeah, at the end of the shift, I was like, Jenny. She was like, it's fine. So she had her carer with her, like carer lady, and they were in the dress circle. They had really good seats. It was banging. And I could tell that she was a bit, like, the lady was a bit rude, and like, but I was like, it's fine.
She was definitely a Karen, like an old Karen.
But she was quite old. But I think she was slightly racist. Like, looking back on it, I think she was slightly racist towards her carer. Like, she didn't like her carer because she was a different nationality or whatever.
Loving old people.
So basically, at the end of the show, at the beginning she was dropped off by a taxi. So at the end of the show, she wanted a taxi, and she said to me, she was like, "Can you take my phone? I've just, the number is on the screen here, the iPhone 5." I was like, "Oh," and she was like, "Can you call this number? Just press call there. and call a taxi. And I was like, sure, why not? Don't know if it's in my job description, but it can't be that hard. It's just calling a taxi. Oh, little did I know. So I called up the taxi. They were like, where do you want us to pick her up from? And I was like, Wardour Street. If you just literally go down the top end where the theatre is and pull over, there's a load of spaces. And we come out those side doors that's right there. So like, it's fine. And he was like, cool, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. I'm literally just around the corner, but you know the traffic. I was like, yeah, it's fine. And I hung up. And the lady said to me, she was like, oh, what's the car? And like, she'd been dropped off in Addie Lee. So I just assumed that I'd been calling Addie Lee. And I was like, oh, I didn't ask what the car was. And she was like, she fully went off. She was like, you're such a stupid gal. You should know to ask what the car is or the number plate. And she fully went off. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. And then the guy actually called back like 5 minutes later. He was like, I'm still in the traffic. I'm literally just coming around the corner. And I was like, before you go, before you get off the phone, what's the car? I was like, I'm not having that. Because I just had to stand with the lady until the taxi got there. And he told me the car, and I was like, I told the lady, she was like, you know, she just was like, okay. And then he came around, and the carer didn't do anything. And, you know, she kind of helped the lady into the car, but like I had to like figure out how to fold up her wheelchair and like put it in the boot of the taxi. And I was like, oh. But by the time I'd done all this, all the other access patrons we'd had at the matinee, my other access person had like dealt with. So I literally walked in and I was like, oh, everything's done. Brilliant. That took my whole afternoon. But I was like, what? Not being funny, but I live in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, this lady doesn't know this, but I live in the middle of nowhere. We don't call taxis.
We just drive ourselves.
We don't really have taxis where we are, unless you like go to Brighton clubbing and then you get a taxi home, which is like £40 to where we live. So I don't drink. So I just drive. So I was like, I'm not being funny, but I've never called a taxi before. I don't know what I'm doing. But, you know, I was like, how hard can it be? But apparently pretty difficult. So
anyway,
pretty demanding.
We've been on this question for like 10 minutes now, so let's move along.
They were both good stories.
They were.
People want to know.
What was the first show you saw?
My first show I saw was We Will Rock You in 20... What did you do?
That went way too far.
What did you just do?
I was going to like throw the phone behind me and it just hit the door the side and rolled and continue going.
Oh well, you can get it in a minute when we...
Oh my god, it's literally it's on my bed. It's somehow flinged all the way to my bed.
You can get it in a minute when we have a thing. My first show was We Will Rock You in 2013 at the Dominion Theatre, and I was like row B, and I was really close, and it was so great. And yeah, what was yours?
Mine was Pace and Pat. No, joking. It was, but like,
no.
Generally, I remember it being Pace and Pat. However, the first like proper show I saw was The Wizard of Oz.
Brilliant.
At the London Palladium. It was banging. So good. But I remember like my mum used to take me to shows in like Worthing, and like one of them was like Pace and Pat. There's like a knockoff Wizard of Oz. It was so good.
I like the Wiggles and stuff like that.
Oh,
I went to see like the legit Wiggles. But no, I think we're talking like West End first show.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Barney.
Not Postman Pat.
Not Barney.
Postman Pat. Amazing. Can you imagine? I made my West End debut in Postman Pat.
I met The Wizard of Oz. I don't know why Barney came out instead of The Wizard of Oz, but here we are.
Jesus.
I saw him as well at Wembley. What a time that was.
What? Barney at Wembley?
I think so. I saw him many places. I love me some Barney.
And I can tell you were a Barney kid, weren't you?
Why am I crying at laughter? This is what life's come to.
Balling. Okay, next question. What show will be the first one you want to go and see when they reopen? And that's from our friend Naomi, by the way.
They're all pretty much from
Naomi asked quite a few questions. We love her, thank you, Naomi. She's a gem. But what do you want to go see?
I want to see all of them. Just I'm joking.
Like, if you can go, like, what is going to be your show that you're like, I have to just see this because theatre's back and this is how I'm feeling?
I don't know, because there are so many good. My voice has gone. Okay, cool. There are so many shows I want to see.
There's some that will be opening.
Yeah, I mean, out of the ones that are currently on the West End, I'd probably say Wicked.
Yeah.
Because the bit which comes out of the bubble at the beginning is like, isn't it good to see me? And I was like,
you got the line wrong, but okay.
You know what I mean.
It's good.
Sorry,
to
Mrs.
see
Line
me,
Queen.
isn't it? No, because it's so English and like you can tell that there'll be a cheer after that. It's good to see me, isn't it?
I'm just like,
yeah. Can you imagine the first? How does Wicked start? Like the music.
with the monkeys doing their thing. It's like,
No, but it's got overture before the.
Yeah, but the monkeys like swing around.
It's got like
and then they wind up the curse and it's like
it's got the scary bit. But like, can you imagine that bit, that overture? See, speaking of overtures, the first show I for sure will go and
Mamma
see
Mia.
is Mamma Mia. It has to be because it's my ultimate favourite. But can you imagine hearing the Mamma Mia overture after not hearing it for? Well,
for you, this is a big deal. For everyone else, no one cares.
It was one of the last shows I saw as well. Apart from Les Mis, I saw it.
It was meant to be like, I think you were meant to see it that Thursday before we closed, and you just didn't go. You just sat in Costa instead.
And the drink wasn't even that good. Yeah.
Sad.
I was gonna go, and Georgina was there. Georgina was in it that week because I was debating, and I was like, actually sensible for once. And was like, no,
you
should not spend all my money on payday. This is the thing; it was payday as well. I could have gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, don't spend all your money on payday. Just go another time. And then the theatre's closed 3 days later. But anyway, no, imagine that overture.
I mean, for you, yes, it's gonna be a big deal. Anyway, the next question. So, favourite memory from the Sondheim?
I was reading the questions. I was like, wait, who's next? Favourite memory from the Sondheim?
I mean, I have to say, it was like, I mean, I really loved like the press night, like just during the show, like picking out all the programmes.
Oh, yeah, that
to,
was
go
so
on every seat and like hoover them just to make sure there's no like little bit of like.
Really?
Go through all the toilets, have to like restack the toilet rolls. Oh, joyous times.
It's like the build up for press night, like on the actual day, was like really great. Like the amount of programs I dropped because you had to balance them on the upright seat, obviously before it folds down. So you had to balance that against the back of the seat, and like it just would split so many times, and I'd be like, one gust of wind.
Yeah, it was really annoying for us because we had Laura. We had all the managers on our level. Because I was in the stalls, we had all the managers, and they were all trying to help us.
Oh God!
It was really like.
I was putting out programs in the dress, but that night I was in the Grand, and we were the first port of call for Cameron and like all the press people to come up and like have a tour because he was doing a tour of the building, obviously. And I remember being literally I was at the door that they came through first, like so we had to listen on the radios, and then Nick eventually was like, right, Cameron's coming up to the Grand now, and I was like, and I just like held the door open. I was like, hello. Obviously I've met Cameron before, but like just the thought of like all these press people just judging me, right, like I'm the first person like front of house that they kind of meet, as it were, and I'm like, hello. But yeah, press night was good. Like,
love that.
They're setting it all up, and the staff party.
Yeah, great fun.
Our joint Christmas, Easter, Valentine's press night
Halloween
situation. Basically, it's been Halloween, summer, and Christmas again because we haven't been back because it was in March. So I think what makes that party feel so much better, like looking back on it, is the fact that it was literally 4 days before the theatres closed.
Yeah,
like
it was that Thursday you went to see Mamma Mia.
It was the Thursday I was meant to go and see Mamma Mia. We were up in London early. Mark was working. That's why I
Yeah,
was.
I was
Just
like
for
a little pod
context,
strap.
he was at Leopoldstadt, and I was collecting outfit from an ASOS delivery for the party, and I had loads of time because obviously he was working. So I was like, oh, do I not? Anyway.
Joyous times.
Wait, is it me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is from our friend Shannon, and she kind of said like three. There we go. 3 kind of things. She said favorite show, underrated favorite show, and like underrated bops. We do have episodes on all of these things. However, we can just briefly, say favorite, like all-time favorite show. I'm gonna say Mamma Mia. I knew you'd say Wicked. Wicked definitely is, but I think Mamma Mia just holds a different kind of love in my heart.
Okay.
Underrated show that you actually love?
Shrek.
I knew you'd say Shrek.
You want to say like Bugsy Malone? No,
I love Bugsy Malone. It's so good, but the film is amazing as well. No, I'm gonna say Carrie, the musical. I really want to go see it, but it's not anymore. Or We Will Rock You. People don't talk about that much because it's like it hasn't been on the West End for a while, like actual West End. And yeah, underrated bops. I remember one that I mentioned when we first recorded this episode before the sound went dodgy. It's like basically the whole of the Addams Family.
Yeah.
No one actually talks about it, and
Paul
I kind of
is such a bop.
Paul is a bop. I kind of forgot about the Addams Family. But then we went to see Lucy and Shanae and John and Kelly at the Halloween drive-in, and Lucy sang Pulled, and I was like, oh my god, the Addams Family's so good. I forgot about this because there's no cast recording. Like, you can't listen to it on Spotify. Like, it's there, but you can't actually click on the songs. And you're like, what?
Just espresso.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Addams Family.
I love that. I mean, I don't know, because there are so many shows that I love, but people are like, ew, really?
Yeah, but
and
it's an underrated song from any show as well.
I don't know, because what I would say the underrated song is probably like someone's like favorite song as well, or like someone's like, oh my god, is this song like underrated? What?
Yeah. See,
you know what I mean?
I would say, for me, I think Soft Place to Land in Waitress is actually underrated. Like, if you think of how well the lyrics work and like how beautiful it is, I think it's underrated.
Love that.
But some people might be like, I don't think it's underrated. I think it's a good song, but I wouldn't say underrated.
Okay, well, in that sort of case, I would say like I'm Not That Girl from Wicked, like the reprise and the reprise in the normal version. It's one of those songs that gets overlooked so easily.
Yeah.
Because
people think of Defying Gravity.
It's not The Wizard and I. It's not Defying Gravity. It's just.
It's not a massive belty number, is it?
That's why I love it. It's so just like.
Yeah.
It's so pure.
I get what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, actually, one of my favorite like underrated songs is like "I Dreamed a Dream." No, I'm joking.
Oh, I actually think like Mamma Mia.
I think Defying Gravity underrated.
Defying Gravity.
Alexander Hamilton underrated. No, I'm joking.
I think Burn. No.
Actually, an underrated song from Hamilton is One Last Time.
Oh, I don't really like that one.
One last time.
It's all right, but I always get it stuck in my head, and then it annoys me. So I don't like it. But yeah,
it's a bop.
It's all right.
Anyway, that's all your.
You've got one more question, I think.
I do, and it is. I can actually write it this time. Best and worst show you've ever seen.
Best show I've ever seen. I don't know.
We did an episode of like God tier musicals, and this is one of them.
Yeah. I think purely for the vibes and the feeling, where I was like, oh Jesus, I'm gonna say Les Mis when we got to see it this Christmas just gone, because it had been 9 months, 10 months.
I would say. Because I've said this show so many times, I'm not going to say it again. But I want to say Dear Hansen is one of my favourite shows.
Yeah.
It's just touched me the way, and I loved it. And the songs are banging.
I've got more into it since I haven't been able to go and see it, because I saw
Yeah.
it obviously in February the one time, but like
And
since
I saw it in December, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, like, no one likes you. I'm just so mad that you didn't invite me, but like, whatever.
I mean, I didn't book the tickets. My mum
your
did.
mum booked them.
Actually,
My mum
I
was
was no. Actually, I said to Mum book it for November. She booked it for Boxing Day. I said book the 26th of November. She booked Boxing Day, and I was like, no, Mum.
Man, so close. But yeah, but I think my favourite show, I mean, it has to be Mamma Mia. But I'm trying to think of like what specific time, like which time I went was my favourite.
Why don't you say different show? Because you have said Mamma Mia many times. Go with another one.
But it is my favourite show.
So is Wicked, but I've said her many times. I have like 5 favourite shows.
But I'm trying to think of also like actually going to see it, like not just to listen to the cast recording, like actually going to. Do you know what? I think when we saw Waitress when it was the 300th, I wanted to say 300th.
That's what you said, so we'll go with
Yeah, the 300th show. Just because it was like we didn't know anything special was going to happen, and we were just stood in the foyer like waiting to go in, and all of a sudden like everyone was like muttering, being like, oh, it's the 300th show tonight, they might like do something. And then we saw like on their socials when we were sitting down that they were going to do something at the end, and we were like, oh my god. And it was just like very exciting. But yeah. I don't know, I like most shows.
So what's your least favourite show you've ever seen? Not that you hated it, just least favourite show you ever saw.
I'm gonna say when I saw Anne Juliet the first time, because I was crying the whole time because the lights were so bright.
And I'm gonna say Club Tropicana because it's absolutely despicable.
See, Anne Juliet's okay, like I don't actually hate it, whereas I feel like Club Tropicana for you're just like, no.
I was like, what on earth happened?
Do you know what, actually?
Like, it could have been great, but it just wasn't.
It just wasn't. It's just terrible.
But it had so many good people in it as well, and I was like, why are you doing this to yourself?
Going on. It's like similar thing with Ghost, isn't it?
I mean, like, I've learned to forgive Ghost. I'm gonna blame it on my seats. I'm gonna blame it on the seats and the fact that I literally got to the theatre like 5 minutes before the show. I got there when the show started and brought tickets and run up. That's how like late it was.
Amazing.
So that's why I didn't enjoy it as much, because I was stressed. If I ever like slightly late to a show, I don't like the show as much as I could do because I'm just stressed.
Yeah.
But I was also sat right at the top of the theatre, right at the back, and I was like, great. The ticket was only £10 though, so I'm not complaining.
Oh no, not at all.
But it was trash. I mean, it was great, but it was trash. But like,
you know what?
There was just so many good people in that show, in like Club Tropicana, and I'm just so upset for all of them that they're involved in it.
One of those.
Because Kellen, that is now in Les Mis, third cover Valjean, he was in it, and I was like,
who?
Kellen, third cover or second cover?
Who?
Kellen Chug Jones, I think that's his name.
Oh, I was thinking of Killian Donnelly.
No.
Oh.
I think it's Kellen. Anyway, but him. Yeah, he was in it, and I was like, why? And so when I saw him in like the Les Mis cast, I was like, oh yeah.
I've just thought of a show that I haven't talked about that is one of my favourite shows that I've gone and seen. No, you're not going to say, oh god. It was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Oh god. But just because of like, I don't even know. And you're not meant to talk about it much, but like, it's just so good. Like, if you like Harry Potter, go and see it. If you enjoyed the films, not necessarily read the books, but if you enjoyed the films, go and see it.
Just go see it. It's a good piece of theatre.
It's really expensive.
I really wish
I recommend doing it in one day.
I really wish I watched it. I really wish I went. I really wish I just called in sick and just didn't go to work.
He won the Harry Potter lottery, but he hadn't because it was for someone else, and then they didn't want the tickets. So then he didn't go.
And no, I asked everyone I knew. I was like, does anyone want to go? Can anyone take a day off? But because I messaged the work group chat,
last minute, obviously,
because I messaged the work group chat as well, I couldn't just be like, I'm going to take the day off.
I'm going to just call in sick.
Everyone will be like, I know where Mark is.
Yeah.
But I said, so you say that, but I've had it before where Actually, I'm not going to tell that story because I feel like my mum's going to listen and I don't need her to know.
Sorry, Mum.
Actually,
yeah,
it was her fault, to be fair. She was like, oh, we're seeing our family tomorrow. And I was like, well, I'm meant to be working, so I just called an and went to see my family instead.
But no, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, I definitely want to go and see that. That needs to be one of the first shows I go and see. I need to save up for it. But yeah, I recommend going in one day, doing both parts in one day, and not splitting it on 2 days, because that's just not worth it. Don't do it. Yeah. And the last question is...
Oh, yes. We still have questions.
Well, it's not really a question. It's more of a request. Our lovely friend Ellie from the Knoll Coward.
The
Knuckle Coward, whatever you want to call it. See, no one's going to get Knuckle. No one's going to get it. Ellie will get it. But yes, she has said, can we do a front of house special? So,
we will.
Next episode, we will be giving you all the tea. We will be telling you all the stories, all the drama. I whacked the mic. I forgot it was there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm stressed. I'm just thinking about your head's be like brushing over the whole time. So it's like.
Oh, I've been checking to see if that has made any difference. It hasn't.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't come up. But anyway.
Love that. Okay.
Yes, front of house special next week. Can't wait.
Welcome back. Welcome back for season 2.
It's been
or series 2.
A hot minute.
Has spicy hot minute.
We needed time off to regather some ideas because.
And I got a dog. It's been a great time.
Well, I did get a dog. That's true. But like, there's nothing worse than running out of ideas and then you feel like your content isn't good.
Yeah.
Because you're sat there and you're like, I'm not really talking about anything in particular.
Towards just let rat us out, but towards the end, we're both just like, this is boring.
We didn't have any
Who's watching us?
Like, I didn't find it boring, but I just felt like I didn't know what to say.
We'd done everything we could do. We were like.
Yeah. So when you need to that's why, because we weren't originally going to do series. You suggested it like right in the beginning. You were like, should we do seasons of like however many episodes? And I was like, nah, be fine. And then like we got later and later, like closer and closer to like Christmas or whatever. And I was like, I just don't have any ideas.
So season 1 then.
And then we were like, let's actually maybe do seasons, because it was like a good length.
There was 30, 29.
We had 3 guests. And that's another thing I'm going to quickly mention, because of lockdown and having to do this on Skype. We don't know the guest situation. Because
but we'll sort it out. We're going
to try and get some guests on.
I have an idea. So.
Oh no, that's not good.
After we finish this, I'll let you know.
Yes, but I just wanted to do like a pre-warning, just to be like, this series might not be as exciting because we might not have as many guests.
But also, it could be more exciting because we know what we're doing, and we're like, I think we're gonna be less organised and more like just chat about theatre.
We're gonna have like basic plans. I mean, we weren't like over organised, but we always try to have like a basic plan of what we're doing.
So I hope you're ready to stick around for season 2. And if there's any of our friends. And if there's any of our friends watching, let us know. You could be on the podcast.
Yes. Anyone at all. Oh, we're going to try and get both of them on this series as well.
Oh my god, we're going to have our parents both come on at separate times, hopefully.
Yes. I'm so excited. I'm ready. Okay, can we close it out before we go mad?
Absolutely.
Ooh. Before we lose all the viewers again. Right, well, we'll see you next week, lads. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, if you're listening,
Spotify, on Apple
Podcasts. Leave us a cheeky little review. That's always nice. And yeah,
we'll see you next week with another podcast.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. See you later.